Today looking at recapping Atari Jaguar here. So there's a couple of things you need to do beforehand. Make sure you've got the capacitors you think you need online. So I've ordered a lot of stuff in from RS Components here. This is the cap list from a website called Console 5. They seem to have a fairly decent and comprehensive list. So I'm going to trust them before I open up the Jaguar, and I've ordered capacitors to fit it. Mostly I've tried to go for polymer capacitors, which are solid, generally because they're more rugged, better durable, and hopefully give a decent signal out. But where I can't go that polymer, I would go, a quality Japanese branded electrolytic capacitor. So looks like I'm gonna go down the list here. So it seems like we need got a lot of 10 microfarad ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 10 microfarad. Oh, 7. 7, 8. 8. Oh, no, that's not. It's not. Yeah, that's 22 microfarads. So don't count that one. So 7, 8. 8 10 microfarad capacitors. 10 microfarad. Now, I'm mostly 25 volts, but there's a few 16s. But generally speaking, I've found that voltage, as long as you have the minimum voltage, you can go over it. So what I need is 8 10 microfarad 25 volt capacitors. Right, got these hundreds here. So you've got 1, 2, 2 times 100 microfarad. That's 16 volts. Got 1 microfarad ones here. Just the 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 1 microfarads at 50 volts. So they'll be tiny wee things. Right, okay. 2.2 at 50, so I need one of them. Don't need to write that down. Let's see. One of these, 47 at 16, 4.7 at 50. These all look like singular after that. Okay, so let's see if I can find some of these. Alright, so I need 8 of the 10 ones. Got here. So yeah, reading capacitors as always. I have to take my glasses off for this. So these are 2.2 at 50. So I just need one of those. So step off a corner here. So 2.2 at 50. Yep, just the one. So that into the dish. 2.2 at 50, and that is now in. Right. Big beastie here. So this is the 2200 at 10. But I've got 2200 at 16. But as I said, as long as you try and stick to the capacitance, the microfarad rating, you can kind of go over on the voltages. So 2200 at 16, check. Like that. What have we got here? That is a polymer capacitor, and these are 16 volts, and it says 470 here for the capacitance, but reading capacitors is a pain in the ass, especially when it comes to these polymer ones, because each company seems to have a different way of doing it. So the first two numbers should be the capacitance. So it's a 47 microfarad, and the 0 indicates that it doesn't require any zeros after it. Yeah, aye. So it's 47 microfarads, 16 volts, and stick one of those in there. It's 47 at 16. Check. Alright, what have we got here? More polymer ones. Take the glasses off. So yeah, this is the dull bit you never see on YouTube about when people recap their consoles, going through all the different things. Alright, so these are 20 volts at 100 microfarads. Bottom number is 20. It's got 100. So look. Oh, right, here we are. So the top two were 100 microfarads at 16 volts. These are 100 microfarads at 20, so that should be fine. I'm a little bit over on the voltage, but it's more what the capacitor will take rather than what it gives. So two of those, 100 microfarads at 20 volts, check. And score off these two. Next, right, done that one. Fairly small compact electrolytics here. This says 4.7 microfarads at 50. So we've got a 4.7 at 50 at the bottom, and it's the only one, so just need the one. So 4.7 at 50. Check. So yeah, Console 5, very useful website for this kind of thing. Right, next pack. These are polymer capacitors. See how daft the numbering system is on these. Right, these look like 10 microfarads at 25 volts. So these are the ones I need 8 of. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking for another pack. Still looking for another pack. These look like them. Yeah, 10 microfarads, 25 volts, so that's 6, 7. Ooh, bin pins. And 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which covers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Righty ho. So yeah, doing it this way, I've actually cost myself, because I'm using polymer capacitors rather than the electrolytics, probably cost myself at least double, maybe even triple the amount for just the capacitors I need from eBay or something. But at least this way I know exactly what's going in there, and I've chosen them for a reason. Right, 1 microfarad at 50. These will be tiny wee things. Oh my god. Let's have a look here. I have to get a bloody magnifying glass to read these. 1 microfarad at 50. It's actually written sideways. That's how small these capacitors are. So I need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1 microfarad at 50. Check, 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 and check. Oop. So I'm missing a 16 volt at 22 and a 16 volt at 330. So let's look here. At 330. Now these are from a different company. So not only is the color different on these little buggers, it says 330 on it, but it actually means 330. So it's not 33 with a 0 afterwards, it's 330, and it's got 16T, so it's 16 volts. So that's the 330 16. You have to look at what company that is, because I wish they would just have a standard marking system on these bloody things. The coloured side, the coloured patch, indicates which leg is the negative. And generally speaking, on capacitors, you generally find that the longer leg is the positive leg as well. So that's the two ways to tell. So it's marked on that side. With these bigger ones, they have the shorter leg marked with the negative side strip to let you know. So that's the 330 jack, and that leaves the 22. Right. Which apparently I don't have here. I do have some. Right, 2 seconds. Alright. Picked up these tiny ones a couple of weeks ago. I think these are 16 volt 22s. Let's have a look. These are electrolytic. Looking for the tiny freaking numbers. So it's 16 volts, 22 microfarads. Okay, that should be it. So yeah, quite a few capacitors for this Jag. We'll see how it goes. Right, so yeah, this is the boring part. If you're going to be recapping, you're going to have to make sure you've got everything ready. And I'm assuming that what console 5 tells me is what's actually in the console. So we'll find out in a second. That'll be the next part. So look at these. Let's see if the capacitors actually match up to what I've got. 2000, it says 6.3 volts though, but I've gone over that, so that's fine. 16 at 330. So far so good. 50 at 10. At 10. Don't know what 50 at 10. My no. 50 at ones. Let's see 50 at 10. Let's see about that. These 16 at 47, easy enough. 100 at 16, it's fine. 50 at 10, another 50 at 10. Fifty at 1, 50 at 1, 50 at 1. Okay, read this one. We have to take this one off because that's 100, that's fine. 50 at 10, 50 at 10. 50 at 2.2, 50 at 10, 50 at 10. It looks like the 10 volt, the 10 microfarad ones are actually 50s. Which I suspect they've put 50s on when the actual ratings were for 25s. 50 at 1, 50 at 10, 50 at 10. There's a lot of 50s at 10s. All of which are marked as either 25s or 16s at 10. So I'll read up on that before I cap. What's this middle one? $50 at 4.7. Seem to remember that was a thing. Yeah, $50 at 4.7. That's fine. Right. Let me read up on the caps and see what they say. Tempted to just take the RF modulator out, but I might just leave it in place just now. 50 at 10s, a lot of 50 at 10s. I suspect Atari didn't have the caps available for the ratings and just stuck in double the voltage that they needed, which is fine. So I got a few to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 caps. Alrighty. Onward. of truth. So replace the 50 volt 10 microfarad caps with these 25 volt 10 microfarad caps as the instructions in console 5 said. So here we go. Let's see. Okay, looks pretty good, like. Hover strike. Okay, so a mixture of electrolytic. I ended up using this blue one because it was slightly shorter. But yeah, some decent electrolytics because I just couldn't get polymer caps in those ones. Little tiny 1 microfarad ones, you just can't get polymer versions. But everything else I could do in polymer and just put solid capacitors in. Best of gear. Should get another 30 odd years at least out of this. Anyway, thanks for putting up the video. I'll try and put as much information. If you've got any questions, give me a shout, because you don't see many Atari Jaguar recap stuff. So, thanks, man.